This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now, where we bring you the 3 E's: educate, empower, and engage. I'm your host, Harvey Blankfeld, along with our co-host, Shelley Brown, and we've been selling homes here in Southern Nevada since 1988. Shelley and I are also very proud to be part of the Real Estate Radio Network. That is a national network of local real estate professionals delivering timely, balanced truths about local market conditions. With me in studio right now, I have Tracy Ruccia. She's the Executive Vice President and County Manager for Equity Title, and she's been doing that work for 30 years. Tracy, welcome back. Maybe we should think about what's going to be happening next year for taxes and all that stuff.
Yes, we do need to start thinking about that. For somebody that's a long-term thinker like myself, I start to try to do things a little bit ahead of the game. But a suggestion I like to always make about this time of the year is if you have sold a home in the year of 2015, you want to make sure you have a copy of your HUD 1 statement prior to October 3rd,
Right.
or your closing disclosure if you closed after October 3rd through the end of the year. And the reason being is that you do need to submit that for your taxes to be done. Why I suggest so early is this is a slower time for title companies, and now is the time for them, if you cannot find it, to go after them and ask them for it.
But that's a great point. You really need to start thinking about where that stuff is, because there's a lot of tax things in that document that are important to you.
Right. Well, and especially if you're a seller, you were moving. So you were packing up. You probably took your closing papers and you threw them in a box that wasn't important to unpack right away.
Probably not unpacked.
Exactly. And you're not sure where it's at, but you don't want to be at the last minute trying to scramble for it. And I also, if I can, like to take it one step further. I think it's really important to constantly check your property, the property that you own. So even I like to make a rule of thumb is do or order what's called a property profile once a year. So if you bought this year at any time, what I would do is flag a calendar come November, December to always order a property profile. You never know if anything shows up, any liens, judgments, maybe something happened prior to you even owning it.
Right.
And it came up. Get that information. Always be on top of what's going on. This world today with fraud and everything is just like you can't be too careful. And
sometimes liens are applied accidentally or improperly.
Correct.
The wrong name.
You're at the mercy of the data entry at the county.
That's right.
And if they're putting in a parcel number or an address or however they're loading it into the system, if they just type one number wrong, all of a sudden you can have a lien on your property that has nothing to do with you.
Right.
But then again, you got to work to get it off.
Wouldn't it be nice to know well in advance of needing to sell the home that you've cleared all that mess up? So why don't you find out now? And if you've got a very common name, if you're a John Smith, my goodness, you got to watch out, because there's a lot of John Smiths out there, and they don't know which is which sometimes.
Right. And that's a really good point. Just so everybody is aware, a property profile is different versus what we call a preliminary title report. The property profile that is free checks the property and any liens that were recorded against it, whereas a prelim goes more in depth towards a name as well. That does not get checked on a profile.
You've been listening to Las Vegas Real Estate Now with hosts Harvey Blankfeld and Shelley Brown. Please tune in every Saturday at 11 a.m. right here on News Talk 720 KDWN.